So let's get going. Happy Thursday, London Open. Where am I going? Day before yesterday. My entry was I'm going back to Tuesday before I start, just to follow up on the analysis that we had and stuff we were looking for. I ended up taking the AJ loan. I can look back on my platform and tell you the exact time, but this was key. This doesn't look very high right here because of what came after. Let's go to real time what it looked like. It was that. Volume wise, off of that low. Highest volume in 5 hours. And we had this marked up already before we had gotten there. This zone marked up to look for the long, right? Remember that? We were looking to buy AJ or AU on a dip, and we marked up the areas. So, of course, the high volume strength was important. Highest volume in about 5 hours. That was good enough for me. The initial, test of this area didn't get started off with really enough volume. But this and this coming off of this area and then seeing the lower volume really dropped off here at the 14 EMA. And off it went. I was really looking to get an AU maybe as well, or in addition to it when that set up. But it didn't really set up right good enough for me, and it just stop it. And it just took off, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll let it go. I don't want to chase it. Oh, my gosh. But that's where that happened. And if you know my entries, that it's decent. But then once it popped up, I'm like, all right, at least I'm in the AJ, and they're likely to correlate. I just didn't go that big on the AJ, but that's fine. So maybe some of you caught that, first of all. That was the only trade I took. Anyone take that? As you do Tuesday. Was it helpful? Also, we were looking at the euro-dollar short, which played out exactly from where I was looking for, but it didn't set up well and didn't go very far. So let's just review that really quick. Exactly what happened there. I haven't opened these charts since, so I still have marked what we were looking for. That nailed it. We were talking about the short from here, remember? But I didn't take it because there wasn't enough volume on that. And we were looking at really low volume for the day up until that point, and it just hadn't kicked up yet enough for me to take that short. If that volume was higher, we were looking for the higher prices. I mean, it could have come in here initially, right? Tuesday when we were looking at it, we just didn't get the weakness. And that fake break pop over this level is what we had marked up for kind of the last spot we can get weakness here if we're still looking for the trade. If it wants to go higher, it was really just that. And again, the volume just wasn't there, so I didn't take it. I did not take it. But, there was more probability as well besides that it would do that sort of pattern. So it played out to some extent there. But what really happened once the volume really kicked up? The buyers showed up, right? So we can understand what happened. which was really a wimpy short setup because there wasn't much weakness, so much sell activity. And then as it came down, high volume really finally came in for the day. This, I don't know, what was that? Well, weakness came in here, but really huge volume off of this double bottom fake break pattern. And so we can't be surprised that that played out. What's up, guys? You could type in the chat. People are still coming in. So let's kind of reset. What else were we looking at? Oh, the GU short, which I did not take. But that's what really set up was the, I mean, we're talking about the strength of the Australian dollar in that zone. And that's what we got. All right, let's reset. Where are we now? So, yeah, how about that political crap? Oh, my God. Let's see what the heck we're getting. Cryptos seem to like important days, right? Holidays. They go up on everything. Mob riots. Cryptos are up. Mr. Dean. Very welcome. Yeah, honestly, I just wanted to stay in bed today, but keep my word. So we got some huge volume yesterday. That really redefines our background. And again, I did not trade yesterday. Tuesday, I had the AJ long. So far, that's all I took this week. Besides the cryptos, which are just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Once in a lifetime. Oh, this never actually got there, did it? At some point, I can look back at my platform because I want to tell you exactly where I entered the trade, to be clear. What's up? Good morning, good morning. All right, so where are we going from here? Your dollar. I lost all my analysis, but that's fine because we're moving along anyway with the story. We had talked about, just to get our background together again, what was in the background. This is really laggy. Okay. Weakness. Weakness. I have to put on the indicator that's going to show where my mouse is. I forgot about that. And weakness again. But then the thing went up, and it didn't have as much volume up there, and it hit a lot of demand. So our highest volume in our background, this sell-off was bought into. So let's see it on the 5-minute. We have high volume off low prices and a obviously very bullish reaction to that volume result. Let's see that yesterday. I have not looked at that yet. And yeah, to confirm that there is large buying into the sell-off, meaning the selling was going on, and as it hit lower prices, we had some large buyers come in, and that's what stops the progress on high volume. Otherwise, high volume selling would speed it up, not slow it down, right? So it must be buyers. And there's a good concentrated amount off the low, which really helps define that it is proper strength in the background. So I always check that 5 minute, see what that volume really is. It could have been, throughout here and then low volume down here, and that wouldn't really confirm strength and accumulation in the background. So we were bearish, but we have huge volume from a 1 hour point of view and showing strength, and we get in here and we see that it is strength. It's sort of not really a common way to change directions, but I guess yesterday was kind of a weird day. Anything goes. New to the channel, welcome. I've been studying and learning the method for a while. Cool. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Very welcome. If you have any questions, you can ask. Typically, I just go through my main 6 pairs that I trade and then see what we're looking for, and then we can hang out and talk. So strength in the background there. Huge volume, so that redefines our background. Really, the old situation is irrelevant at this point with that much volume, and the old levels just pretty much not being respected as support resistance anymore. It's turned into something else now, and it's a good old fib retracement. So that didn't just happen anywhere. Now, strength in the background. Let's go to the daily chart again. What are we doing? Oh, we're in an uptrend. And what's to the left? Nothing until here. At least let's have that marked. 126 basically. 125 and a half. Okay. And it looks like we may be starting off again with strength. So this area was buying. Let's mark this up. It is certainly an unusual way to change directions as far as the background. Weakness, weakness, weakness. And typically when you have that much weakness, price is going to play out and trend down before you hit large buying. But I guess, you can't be surprised yesterday at really anything happening on the charts. It was not a normal day in the world of politics, therefore finance, I suppose. If we look at the reaction, knowing that that's a fib area, it looks very familiar, doesn't it? 618 overshoot. So that's the London Open. This is the London Open volume right here. This is 5 minutes into it. I assume that was London Open because that's when you get the volume spike. But this was actually the London Open volume spike. This is 5 minutes later, which really tells us it's real and we can trust it. Because you get high volume this time of day no matter what. But for that to be 5 minutes in and not the initial pop that we get helps confirm that is, again, strength. Because it's hard to trust the volume on the London Open when you're maybe looking for high volume to occur somewhere and it's London Open and you get high volume. It's going to be high volume no matter what because of the time of day, right? But that's 5 minutes after, and it's much larger. Also looking at the 1 minute does help here, and we can see, again, what's needed to really confirm strength here is the volume off the low prices, especially in this area, right? A lot of you know this. The 618 overshoot is considered a very good buy area for them to show up if they want to, and they did. So now there's a test at the 14 EMA already. So we're going to be testing for supply here, and we may have a quick imbalance of large demand and a drop in volume here. 14 EMA, support turn resistance, and we're testing for sellers here. If we have a low volume reaction to this area, then we may just be moving right up off of this, and I would consider getting in that. So let me keep going with the analysis, but we got to keep an eye on that. Do you get 3 to 4 trades every week with this method? Asking anyone. Oh, yeah. I haven't been on the charts 5 days a week, 8 hours a day or whatever for a long time. So I couldn't tell you how much in the recent conditions you might be getting. You're looking for a funded account, and I might need a system that offers 3 trades per week, so at least 2 from here. You're looking for a funded account. Do you have a profitable trading record for an extended period of time? Or are you first going for the trade and for the account, and then the method second? Oh yeah, we'll figure that out later. Let's just have the account. Yes, so we'll see what goes on there. I do want to check EJ next and see the similarities that may be there with this euro situation. Not similar. So the yen and the US dollar are having their differences, aren't they? Wow, this lag is killing me right here. Okay. What else could I close? Close that. I can't close that. Okay. So, as part of the big influence on what happened yesterday, comparing the dollar and the yen, and that's really what drove a lot of things. So you have the U.S. dollar moving up against the yen here. So strong dollar, weak yen. Talking about yesterday to today. Weak yen. So if you're looking at EJ, right, there's the euro against that weak yen. If you look at the euro dollar, not as straight up and big of a move because the U.S. dollar is not as weak. So looks like the AJ trade was a good matchup in the end. That yen very weak, and I didn't hold this thing throughout this whole move, but we already talked about Tuesday how strong the Australian dollar was, and then the yen was the weaker, so that was a good matchup. So just to understand what's driving things. Okay, let's continue. I got to keep an eye on this. That's a pretty decent drop in volume there on the test. Let's go to the Australian dollars now. We'll get to the pound. Let's reset. So we were very bullish on this Tuesday when we met. Here is the activity for yesterday, and this is showing, again, very high volume strength. So we're still bullish. Is this going to move, or we're just going to freeze here? Come on. Come on. Thank you. It was fine on Tuesday. Now my computer's not liking things. Are we going to move the mouse? Hello? Wow, this sucks. All right. Did I just kill the stream by closing that window? Please tell me I didn't. I'm just trying to stream a chart in 2021. Why is it so complicated? Did I just ruin the stream by closing that window? I need somebody else to do this for me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay, it's still going. Sorry about this, guys. But the computer is not playing along nice right now. It really should. There's no reason for this. And what doesn't help is I gotta go stream the stream so I can see your questions. And that's just adding to the crap going on this computer. Okay. So very bullish still. Australian dollar. Come on. I'm hitting the mouse. I'm clicking. Do it. It takes 10 seconds for everything to happen. I can't do it like this. Come on. Why is this happening? Tuesday was fine. It takes about 5 seconds for anything to happen once I click on it. This is going to drive me crazy. Oh my gosh. Why? Yeah, I don't know. That's probably not going to do anything. If I restart the stream. I don't have anything extra running. Come on. Be happy. There's not that much running. 16 gigs of RAM on this really should be not too much. A stream and a chart, please. All right, I'm just going to work with the situation the best I can. So, continuing to be bullish on the Australian dollar pairs. Markup areas for our long. We are bullish because we already were Tuesday, and as we moved up, we did not run into any high volume weakness, which would be high volume off the high price area, which was here before this dip. Lower prices here. If you draw a fib from this bottom to top, which will take me 2 minutes, so I'm not going to do it. You have a fib retracement here, right? It's probably a 618 overshoot, whatever. So you have your reaccumulation there very aggressively. Again, here's a move up, not showing weakness. And we're staying with this bullish environment. Spots to look for the setup, test of this support. Ideally a fake break. If we want to go lower, we have the fib. And I'm sure AJ is going to be similar. We were very bullish Tuesday. Price moved up. And this high volume, again, that's that same for that time of day everywhere. If weakness was coming in, we would have most likely seen it start here. And this high volume has a result of the higher prices. We know this thing is bullish, right? Okay. Especially the weak yen. This one's even more bullish than AU. So any sort of down move strength, I'd be looking for an entry. It has to be at a proper area. We have a clear support here. I wouldn't want to be buying this high anyway. We'll see how things develop, but for the more traditional stuff, I would at least want that. How's that euro dollar? So what's up in the chat? Yeah, in Mac it's called Activity Monitor. Yeah, I could see. It's probably the stream. I'm just checking in the chat here, and we'll keep going. So looking for the dip on the Australian dollar pairs to buy. A very bullish situation still. And then maybe developing a euro long here at the moment. Euro dollar. So many principles, master, restart stream. Some guy left a bad review with a nonsense lose record on Forex Peace Army about his room. Nonsense lose record? And someone replied that he got 12 trades the last 3 months with a very high reward. That's what threw me off. I don't know. Somebody left a bad review. Well, everybody go leave a review at Forex Peace Army, and I don't know, just go tell the truth. If I got a bad review, that's weird. How bullish is democracy today? To be decided. All right. So a little laggy here, but it's not as bad. Still, ideally, I'd like to get long again on the Australian dollar today. Buy a dip on strength at a proper level. But euro, again, we had weakness. Things change. Huge volume. It's strength. Check the smaller time frames. It's confirmed strength. Favored tracement and potentially a setup here. Which started off with high volume, but this time of day has high volume, but not 5 minutes in and a huge pop like that. So I have to trust it to some extent. If we can come down and do another low, or fake break, double bottom, and again see strength and pop up, right? And it's not going to be at London open volume spike, then we can trust it a bit more, right? So I wouldn't mind a bit of selling off of this. You know, they stop and test for sellers here, right? I wouldn't mind that coming down off of some moderate volume, nothing high, and then seeing, again, some non-London open high volume accumulation here. That would really help. But if we're sitting here on low volume, which is kind of medium, we'll see what it does. If it starts to really drop off and then move up, it would be confirmation of an imbalance and lack of supply, large demand, bullish background, familiar pattern. So I would get in and put something on that. So those are the cleanest, most straightforward. Looking to buy the Australian dollar against US, against the yen, and the euro dollar. Pound is kind of a sloppy, choppy range. But again, it's this thing that happened at this point yesterday where it kind of redefined the background with all that volume. That's our recent high volume telling us where they're positioned from and is buying. Of course, it's a fake breakout. So we may have all come together. Now, if this is bullish, then the pound yen has to be even more bullish because the yen is weak. And there it is. That's very clear. Okay. Well, if I traded yesterday, I might have taken that one. Did anyone take that? I didn't look at the 5 minute yet, but you also have to consider it wasn't until this close that you really had this, or getting towards the close, that you really clearly saw some strength with that high volume. But again, 618 overshoot, strength. Well, if it goes, let's get rid of all the extra crap here. Okay. Let's see real quick if there was a 5 minute entry, because overall this was looking good. Now, we were bearish on the pound, but again, if you have volume, this is the highest volume on the chart right now. Things change. Yeah, not a bad setup. Again, the main thing to see is that the volume is still off the low. This high volume when you go to the 5-minute, and not just around here and then a dip in volume down there. But there's your 618 overshoot with your high volume. 14 EMA test for sellers, not bad. Okay. So going forward, looks like we're all bullish, especially against the yen pairs. I can't even draw a fib on here now because it's still moving, but if it starts to have a retracement, we'll go back to that. Here's the recent resistance. We could have a break test continuation. But of course, I'm not going to chase the breakout right now, so we'll get back to that and see where that may settle and give us our spots to look for. I'm just checking the chat. The big move down during off hours after the bullish setup yesterday. Was that due to UJ strength that came in off hours? I didn't spot any. I'm not sure exactly what time, which pair, or generally. Well, the dollar yen affects things. If you look at that chart, and others are just similar in reaction to it, then it's that's what's driving it. Let me go back. Oh, I might be putting something on this. Hold on. Hold on. I want to see how this reacts. See, the volume here is okay, right? The lower the better. So it's not very low. Now, if this closes up, especially near the high of the candle and above the 14 EMA, and the volume stays low, that's going to really help. And again, this is so early where you get high volume this time of day, no matter what. So it's not exactly perfectly clean as far as everything here. What is this watch list crap? Just give me the list of everything I can buy and sell. I don't need to make a list. A customized list. Where's euro dollar? Oh my god. I don't want a new watch list. Just give me the euro dollar buy sell buttons. Where's the popular markets link on my app? It's gone. It literally disappeared. New watch list. No. I have to add everything manually. Browse for a market. Euro dollar. Oh my god. Yeah, that one. All right. So I'll let you know if I take anything. I'm looking at the reaction here. It's a B minus right now, this long entry, right? It's a little questionable with the high volume being at a time of day where we're going to get high volume, although it's 5 minutes in and it's really extreme and it's in a good spot. This volume could have dropped off lower, ideally. Usually this time of day, right, after 10, 15, 20 minutes into the session, you start to come down anyway on volume and find your thing. But so that's kind of happens all the time anyway. You know, the first 30 minutes are a little iffy. It, like I say, it used to not be this way. Back in the day, London Open we'd ease on into it, not this high volume no matter what stuff. Back in my day. So I'm looking for it to convince me. If we can sit here again on finally low volume, perhaps. It's a B minus. Can I get a B plus trade? Can we improve a little bit before I get in this? Where are we on this support term resistance right there? We're above it. If I did get in it, I would allow for another fake break. Overshoot here, so I'm looking at like 85 on the stop if I get in this. If it's early and it's a little imperfect. I like how it's keeping this price, though. It's not coming down. It's accepting it, and it's not ticking around like crazy. It's a test for sellers as we move up, 14 EMA, above the old support resistance. I like how it's staying there, too. Let me see the 1 minute chart right there. I like that drop in volume, yeah. We might be getting something decent there. Looks like buying on this little dip. Of course, this stuff had to be there. The actual London open spike is that. So I got to believe that this is real stuff. It doesn't start till a few minutes later. A little dip here bought into. That was bought into. And if we can float through here and keep seeing this low volume, I would put something on this small risk. Because I would still look to take something else today. Possibly. Trading view for Forex. I like MT4. I'm just an MT4 person for life. I don't like trading view. I got used to it, but for really getting in and doing analysis, the little, it has little quirks that just bother me. MT4 is home. All right, we're sitting here. We're sitting here. That's good. Low volume. That's good. A minute left. Chad, I got to put that indicator on. I forgot about it, but I did download it. Which will show you guys my mouse, even when I'm not clicking on anything, because from what I'm told, you don't see it. So potential long setup there, and then these guys, if they can pull back further, I shall trade it again. But even Pound joined the party and became bullish. And especially against the yen. Again, I don't have this drawn anywhere until we actually start the retracement. Then I'll see where our retracement may be going. Euro dollar. There's our nice low volume here, 14 EMA. That's a good one. So let's see if the buyers want to push through here and actually start a markup. Not much sell activity here. So they may do that in the very near future. If we kind of float on down, then we'll see, make sure those buyers are still accumulating here. And if they are, that makes the setup even better. So either way, we'll see what's happening. Somebody asked about the down move. I guess you're talking about the down move that happened earlier today in Asia. Well, I wouldn't read too much into it. It's not much activity that time of day. The background has strength, and coming back to these levels to accumulate is probably ideal. That's all. Where are they positioning from and in what direction? They are positioning long from yesterday's dip. Doesn't mean we have to go up in a straight line. Nice low volume here. All right. Well, I have my platform open. And I'm going to mess it up and lose my euro dollar. I don't want to make a whole watch list. Just give me a list of your currency. I'm just looking at my history to tell you what I took exactly. Okay. Oh, I took AU, not AJ. What an airhead. It was 2 days ago. I can't even remember. Okay. It was, and euro's moving down. Okay, so we're not missing anything. It was 9:12 a.m. New York time on the Australian US dollar on AU. 9:12 a.m. New York time. That's when I went long. Okay. 2 days later, I'm talking about, I bought AJ. So that was in here. And that wasn't the level I marked, but as I say, if a new level sets up, that's nice, but I need to see it tested again. Then it becomes a support that is then revisited. So we actually have a level. Where am I going? The 5th, right? It's very similar to the AJ. That's why I got them mixed up. Of course, they're very similar. There's the first low, which wasn't anything special. A bit of volume. And then here, which was the highest volume in about 5 hours. So it's similar to AJ. The strength, and then the test on the 14 EMA and the low volume. As I'm talking about right now, you see how volume drops off right before it moves up? And all these higher prices are lower volume than these lower prices. There's your imbalance. Here's your buy activity. There's your sell activity. And then here's your markup beginning. So if we kind of look at that, right, and go to euro dollar, apply that sort of template of looking for the imbalance. There's your strength. And your testing and the low volume here. So we have a good start, especially after that low volume now, right? That looks like right before it took off. But the thing is, just because there's low volume, lack of supply, just because there's an imbalance, just because there's a setup like this forming potentially, it doesn't mean it has to go now. It doesn't mean they have to mark it up. When the markup begins, it begins. They may be waiting for this or that or news to pass or whatever their reasoning is timing-wise. But this drop in volume here shows the lack of sellers. But for some reason at the moment also shows that they're not looking to mark it up, which means those buy positions are in there and they mark up the price intentionally on their entries. Unlike getting into buying on down moves and strength, they're in the second way, which is to move price intentionally. And that's easy to do when supply is low. But they don't have to do it just because the imbalance is there, right? That's the last piece. The imbalance is nice, but if they don't begin the markup, then there's no up move. Yeah. But we have an automatic rally now, right? Which is more or less that old support resistance. But now we have that little top. So that's the level of resistance after strength. This is basically you could look at it as going back to the Wyckoff stuff. These patterns happen on large time frames, small time frames. Small time frames are more about entry. Large time frames, these patterns are about knowing where you are, what phase the market is in and all that. But there's automatic rally, and that's going to be going forward. Your test level for sellers. We knew this was a test area to begin with, and it did hold up and create a support. So if we get through this area, we're officially going to markup. Unless there's some huge weakness on that attempt, right? Then we're looking at the markup happening. Technically going from this accumulation business into markup by successfully getting through this level now. So we have a clear separation of the two phases. So I do not mind coming down. Let's put the buyers to the test, right? Good. Are they going to show up here and create a double bottom, fake break? If so, then we move up, and that makes it even better. Seeing that they're really committed to buying here. If they don't show up and it goes lower, we'll be glad we waited and we're patient. Proper entry didn't quite come around yet. Again, Australian dollar is very strong. Pretty much against everything, but this, particularly the yen, is weak, so that's a nice matchup today. It was this pair that I took on Tuesday. But they're very similar. So it could be that easy again. Down move in strength on one of those two pairs. But again, everything sort of came around. Pound has had a sloppy little past here recently, but again, you see strength showing up yesterday on that dip all around, which is really, again, US dollar and yen weakness, but especially the yen is very weak. So even if the guys are, it's all relative value, even if the pound is flat and sideways, the weakness on the other currency is going to have it go up. Relative to it, it will be stronger. Let's put these buyers to the test down here. This is good to see. I guess I will check out the chat. Have some coffee, put on some music, roll a doobie, drop some acid. Oh, well, I'm going to start adding things to that now. Drop an acid. Do some mushrooms, do some DMT. Come on, we're going to do a live mushroom DMT stream. Come on. And try to trade. Do you still trade scalping? Yes, I do. Are we B plus yet? We are B plus if we... Well, the low volume got it out off a B minus. It became a B, right? That low volume at the 14 EMA, it became a B. Now, it's at least a B plus if we bounce off this low on some strength. If we bounce off this low on some strength, it becomes at least a B plus, potentially. And what makes it an A, finally, is to come off of that and get through here on low volume, right? But the U-shaped, or typically unfinished U-shaped volume under the double bottom, as I call it, textbook stuff could be forming here, right? Those of you who've been following me for years, come on, are you tired of these setups? He's doing it again. It's the same thing again. That's right. God. Yeah, double bottoms. All right. 618 overshoots. All right already. But that's the market. It's not me. Okay, put those buyers to the test. Are you serious? Are you going to show up? It's becoming now or never the lower we go here. Ooh, look at the 1 minute volume. Why can we look at the 1 minute? Because it's about price areas, not time frames. Time frames is just something somebody invented to give you different views of the same exact data. Candles and time frames. It works. Good enough. It's not really about that. Prices, activity at prices. That's all that matters. It's the price area that is attractive to buyers. Is it attractive enough? Are there going to be enough buyers? Well, the activity will tell us. On some music, smoke some DMT. Well, if it goes another leg down before it hits buyers again and then moves up, well, we'll be pretty smart for waiting, won't we? Dennis D. Are there any sellers on Bitcoin up here? I hope not. It's not cryptocurrencies. It's an ATM. Okay, that's it. Yeah, I need $100. I just made it while I said that. Let's see. Dennis. Hi, Pete. Would you wait for a 1 hour confirmation that you're done setup? No. As I say, the 1 hour high volume confirmation is when I'm doing something counter background. It needs to change. So if we have an uptrend and I'm going to short, I want to see the 1 hour confirmed weakness on some very high volume. So those are the cases where if you're trading along with the background that's already been established, right? Then I'm just taking a 5-minute setup. That's fine. So it's all about going with or against the background. The huge volume yesterday is already confirmed strength, so I wouldn't need to do that. I would not need to do that. The 1 hour volume is, it's not a situation where it has to be high, for an hour, for an extended period of time of high activity. Just needs to be high volume at the right price areas, which could be just a couple of candles. And from a 1 hour point of view, it may not be very high. You have some low volume testing for a while, and then, your 1 hour is just not going to be high. 1 minute looking nice, says somebody here. Oh, okay. Factual information, it's buying. It's factual information. Why were these candles that are the same size all throughout here? Why suddenly would we have higher volume and the same size candle? Well, if that higher activity was selling, wouldn't that be a large red candle? Must be buying. Logic. I need a heat meter to tell me what's going on. I'll stop it. No demand, stress meter. When you cancel when? Huh? I invented price area. It's not me. It's just. How long have I traded for? I got serious around 2007. Had a job. Got up before work. Traded. A lot of times I'd have to leave my trades on and go to work. There was no cell phone, no trading on your phones back then, 2007. So I just have to leave it sometimes, go to work, come back. And it hit my target again. Woo, I'm getting the hang of this finally. And then I got fired. The rest is history, yes. And I was like, you're right to fire me. I suck. That's basically what I told him. That's why you're the boss. But it's an ongoing education that pretty much never ends, to tell you the truth. Never ends. I guess you could say that about any skill. The education never really ends. If somebody played guitar for 5 years, compared to a guy who played guitar for 20 years. He'll know more. At this point, it's pretty routine. I could do this drunk And in my sleeping drunk, I could still trade. And tripping on DMT with Joe Rogan. When will you look for scalping setup? Somebody's impatient. I don't look. It's when the chart says here, look, it's a scalp. It'll show me. Typically, my scalps are in very trendy situations where a trend, where a price is trending, and these normal pullback, zigzagging things are not likely to happen. And I'm just going to sit there and watch this trend go and go. That's where I can get myself an entry more aggressive. I consider it a scalp because the target could be small. It's not this sort of built-in to the zigzagging phases, buying low, selling high, having some, reasonably big targets compared to scalp targets. That could be just a quick in and out on a very strong trending move. So right now we don't really have that situation. More of the reconnection successful. Okay, that's good. How long were you consistent and profitable before you got fired? Oh, I don't know. Not that long. It was a struggle at first. Not that long. And I didn't just jump in like, all right, that's it. I'm full time. It was a learning process. But at least I had gotten to that point where I took the Wyckoff, the VSA, the technical analysis, and all this stuff, and spent endless time, chart time, learning these things and figuring it out, and making it into kind of my own thing. Well, that's a good, as I say, the unfinished U, right? There we go. It's like drawing a U, but you don't finish. Hence the name. So if that's the low, the trade setup improved. And it could be an A+. If we get through here on low volume. An entry sooner than that is possible. Because the 14 EMA is down here. Which is a test for sellers. And you can get very low volume test at the 14 EMA. Which means you're likely going into markup. But this now going forward is really the barrier between this accumulation and actual markup style trading, which is really what you want to catch at the beginning of. So you can consider it more aggressive to get in below this level, but not wrong, And as I was initially saying about this entry, when it was here at this point in time, that if I were to take it, I would have to leave room for this fake breakout, and leave room for the stop for the fake breakout. So this is all very predictable stuff. If it goes beyond here, that's it, right? Unless I guess it's a quick pop on high volume that brings it back up. But really, this is really the pattern. It should not break this low going forward for a good long setup. That should be it. This should be the low of the day right there. But we'll see. And meanwhile, the mighty Australian dollar is coming down. Very good. Very good. There's nothing like a bullish environment where London Open prices are coming down. You're not sitting here going, well, that's how much I can do. I don't know. It's exactly what you want. Right. Would an aggressive entry be to buy before the break of automatic rally? Oh, I just mentioned that, right? Or would this be considered reasonable if we saw no supply? Okay, so I just talked about that, yeah. Yeah, it's a little more aggressive, but it's not wrong to enter before automatic rally breaks. I typically wait. If I go in before, it's a better price. It's a lower risk due to that. You can always go in partial position and then see what goes on at that test. And if it looks terrible, you just get out. Or if it looks good, you can add to it. Just try to, line up with what the chart is suggesting as far as your chances. But yeah, back in the day, I had just gotten to that point where I had quit attending people's trading rooms. Not that I really did much. But I had done better than the guy that was calling the trades. I said, all right, I'm out of here. All right, so AU coming down. So it could be once these Australian dollar down moves settle, it'll be nice for this guy to move down a bit. Looking for that long. Well, there's our high now, at least for the moment. Here's our previous. Oh, it's so laggy and messed up. That was holding off on really drawing a fib here because we were still moving up. But, okay, if that's the high for now, of course we may have to redraw that. But if it starts to come down from there, we have a fib area here. And if that's weakness coming in, it could help it bring it down, right? It's not climactic. It's not changing our background. We have a bullish high volume background. There could be a simple break test continuation here. We'll see if it starts coming down, what it looks like. That's not my first choice, though, is buying the pound. Ooh, plot twist, Eurodollar. Attack of the sellers. So I don't sound like the Borg today. We're good. What else? Here's the website. If you're new here today, I normally get paid for this, but I'm doing it for free now. But I do have some courses on my website if you want to check that out. So how about those cryptos? Oh my God. It's not fair. Usually you say that when something bad happens, it's not fair. But it's like good fortune that's not fair. You almost feel bad. Well, you can give your money to me, Pete. That's fine if you don't want it. It's at the point where I'm telling the chart, stop. Okay, I'll take it, though. It's fine. I'll take it. But stop. Chill out. I'm not complaining. All right. Oh, fine. Fine. I just don't want it to end. We're all going to get spoiled. Anyone who's holding cryptos and just taking off a piece here and there, or not even selling any off for a while and just still withdrawing some of the profits. Then you're going to end up with a large percentage in crypto in your account. But so watch out for the retracement. Watch out for the weakness. Anyway, I don't want to click over there yet because I'm watching this Eurodollar situation. Ooh, the Weiss wave question. That's always a fun answer. How would you have, all right, we'll go in order. How would you have managed the GU long if you had taken it yesterday? While the off hours return. How would I have managed? I would have gotten by. Which one? GU? Was it? Okay. Well, let's take a look. What would my targets be and what would I do about it? If I had bought yesterday is the question. Okay. So what I do when I buy, if I'm buying off a low or support or something like that, All right, so I'll mark up areas as if I was going short. Those are targets that are going to tell me where sellers may show up. So I got a fib, and I react to these levels. So these would be, to simplify here, the two target areas that I'm looking for, and when price gets there, I see what happens. Also, if this is a ranging condition and it's the middle of the range, I don't even know what that is. It's a sloppy mess. I was going to say middle of the range and top of the other side of it. But those, simply put, would be the two targets. And there could even be a third. A lot of times it comes down to three targets, where you have the first one that may or may not be an actual size target, but at least it's an area you have to be aware of to manage the trade. Sometimes it's 12 pips away, sometimes it's 50, or so you have to know what you're going to do there according to your risk reward, all that. But the information off of these areas is crucial to tell you about the health of your trade. So I would look at these areas and manage it based on what I'm seeing there. If I had taken that long yesterday, I just didn't trade it yesterday at all. D. Nixon. Well, I have been following you for almost 3 years, and I think I asked you about the Weiss wave indicator back then. I forgot what you said, but your explanation was enough for me. Yeah. I haven't thought about Weiss wave in so long, probably since your question. Weiss wave. Now, that's the one that gives you a cumulative volume. So as a wave up in price occurs, you zigzag your way around, so you make a wave up, and volume is in some indicator or something is accumulated. So every time a new bar or candle closes, it's that volume plus what's going on up until that point during that wave, right? Do I have that right? So then you get to this nonsense about, well, if you have an up wave in price, and then you look at volume, and the volume of that wave, if you add it all up, is high volume, then it's very bullish, and you have lots of buying, because the up move, again, had, according to the Weiss wave, accumulating all this volume throughout the up move, it must be high volume buying, because price moved up. The problem with that is, if price is moving up, then higher prices tell you about sellers. Now, for example, what if there are signs of weakness all throughout that up move? That means when new high ground comes in, it gets squashed down on high volume. Then it could hang around, go up a little higher, it gets squashed again. You see the sell orders hitting the market. The price gets squashed into new high ground. That's the hallmark of that. Now, that's going to give you this indication that price moved up on high volume as a generalization of the volume, adding it all up, a summary of the volume. And that's going to say that it's a strong up move and it's very bullish. It doesn't take into consideration that it may be weakness. And in fact, what about VSA, where strength appears on down moves, weakness appears on up moves? So you're looking at these two competing pieces of information. How's that for the answer? It doesn't really make sense. And if you're trying to combine it with VSA, good luck. It's like saying, oh, the sky is blue, but it's also red. So both. Good luck with figuring out what color it is. I say it's the opposite if you were going to use it. It's a really crappy version but of any sort of indicator you would want, but it's the opposite. If price is moving up, let's say you have a 5-wave pattern, right? Price moving up, retracement, up, retracement, right? And that third one, that third up move of the three, has a lot of volume on it. What does that mean? They're taking profit. They're selling into the up moves. If it's higher than the first two waves, there's selling coming in, unless it's a huge wave with huge candles. But if we're talking about a regular sort of zigzagging environment, right? Higher prices on a higher volume on an up move could mean the end of the trend. So, but Weiss wave says it's strong buying. And it doesn't make any sense. All right, I'm done with that. I always end up trashing something. That's okay. I'm an island with bridges to burn. There you go. I have no friends in the in the retail Forex education industry. I have no friends. I've trashed them all. It's not personal. There, demand. Mr. Dean, with the euro dollar, how far past the 618 would you call the trade setup invalid? Yeah, we're kind of getting there, aren't we? Would we now look to see if buyers show up at the previous? Yeah, let's get back to the analysis. Oh my God. All right. Well, what it is showing us, we may not have gotten this textbook clean pattern. That's fine. But it is continuing to show high volume to these lower prices. Let's go to the 1 minute and hone in. Oh, hello. So there is buying into this stuff. There are big buy orders that are coming in. We see them. Well, now we know why they didn't mark up here. I guess they're pretty smart, huh? They were going to still get lower prices to buy. And as I say, new low ground tells you about sellers. New high ground tells you about buyers. It tells you about buyers. I said it backwards. So new low ground tells you about buyers. There's the low. Here's the new low ground. There's your volume. Hung out for another candle. Then we went to new low ground and new low ground. So, right? They are buying. So the pattern is a little sloppy, but hey, the strength is continuing to show up, and I would just need it to clean up and show the imbalance in some regular way. If it does continue down to here and we keep seeing it getting bought into on the way down, I have to do that. There you go. Goes down here and gets bought into on the way down and then hits a nice bottom on strength. Typically, if you have a move that's bought into for that long, it reverses quickly. So it would be a very bullish and quick projection if we continue down, and we keep seeing strength into these moves. When that supply is low, they will cover it. That's the whole game on OXT, right? That's the whole game. So, as long as strength is continuing to show up in the down moves, it is bullish and they are accumulating. And it will go back through those areas, very likely. Obviously, when there's a proper lack of supply. But like I say, from the buyer's point of view, if they can get low prices, they'll take it. There's no reason to force a markup if they can position better lower and have whoever's looking to sell get in and get committed so they can get out of their way through this price area going forward. I like this. Again, Australian dollar very strong. Maybe we can get at least to this level, and then I'd consider an entry. This guy didn't move down much. Yen is so weak. Really? What am I doing right now? You're really going to text me this? Literally, my last text to this guy was that I'm doing this tonight. He's going to say, oh, yeah, I forgot. What else, guys? All right. I'm going to get a coffee refill and smoke some DMT. Okay, be right back. All right. Good DMT trip. I'm back. I was there forever. Some guy I heard say that. I mean, that tripped me out just to hear it. He goes, so I went to this place. You know what DMT is. Everybody knows what it is, right? I went to this place, and I realized I was there forever. I'm like, it's like, wait, I've been here forever. Cryptos? Let's see. Gotta make sure you see it. $37.15. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm actually going to close MT4 for a second because the computer's not happy. Next time I'll restart it before I stream. This exact euro dollar situation got me out of trades so many times due to impatience. Oh, like you got in too soon and then this low would have hit your stop or something? Yeah. 2 days ago, you were looking the EU highs as selling. Yes. And now it's back to bullish. Yes. Was it just the new volume on the lows that flipped the bias? Yeah, and if you look at the 1 hour chart, which is my overview volume, highest volume in many days. I didn't go back to see how many days, but so that changes the background. Yep. Extremely high volume on a 1 hour chart, including 5-minute analysis of that to make sure it is what it appears to be. That will change the background, yes. Knowing where they're positioned from and in what direction. And when it becomes overwhelmingly the opposite, then that's our new background. Which I did not invent. But simplifying it to a 1 hour and 5-minute, I did that. I mean, if you really just had a 5-minute chart, you could zoom out. So really, you could trade with one chart. You could trade with a 1 minute chart. But I like the 5-minute cycles. I like the cycles. How's the cryptos? Let's see. Can you see it? Not yet, right? Now you can, right? Okay. Well, if you're in it, you're holding some. If you're looking to get in, you're looking for some sort of dip. Stellar yesterday. Oh my gosh. Am I right? Stellar? Are you crazy? Are they always going to be like this? They're not. The golden age of cryptos. Look at this thing yesterday. This daily chart. There. The whole history of the thing. Yesterday. My kid's she's getting into trading. When I showed her this chart yesterday, I showed her this chart. She goes, I never saw that. I said, yes, it's very rare. You're not going to see that very much. But that was her reaction, which to me was cool. Like she understood what that meant for a moment. To go, right, looking at this chart. She's 8. She's trading cryptos now. I gave her a $500 account, and it's up $400 and something dollars. So it's like a 90% gain. But, you know, the last couple of months, it's like sort of a false impression of what trading cryptos is going to be like. As long as you're buying, you made money. But that's a good positive experience for her, a good start. But that was cool. She she could not believe this chart. Anyway, it could be a pump and dump. You know, I got out, not completely, but I certainly covered some on that. We've seen this stuff before, right? And it comes back, and then it hangs around, and then it dips a little, and then they accumulate, and then they do it again. But that's a new one, on this pair. I don't know. What can I say about crypto? Some of you know my method, have my course, are trading it. Every single person has made money. If you bought my course on cryptos and you haven't made money, let me know, and I will, I don't know, give you your money back. Find out what you're doing terribly wrong. It was impatience or stop placed too close, a position too large. It's catching up on the chat. How do you get the volume by price on TradingView? Oh, is that still on there? Oh, it's in the template. That's right. It's called Market Profile. I don't know if you need the paid version to get it, because I just don't know. But actually, it might come with the free version. It's totally useless. I need to take it off the chart. It's good in theory, and in practice, it does nothing. Prove me wrong. EOS looks still quite bullish, especially on the lower time frames. Yeah. And yeah, XLM. Meanwhile, I literally closed my MT4 because my computer was slowing down. I couldn't do both charts at once. So anything important, let me know. Counting on you. All right. Do I have it up here? No. Oh gosh, I'm going to be doing something in this platform. Don't mess things up. There you go. Bitfinex. Hey, Clicky, give me chart. Oh, it did. Okay. It's in the Forex section. I got to move it. So, what do you want to see here? Are you saying it looks bullish? Yes, it does. So you have the, and plus, if you're using TradingView, it does, you can get it with the free version. Look for this volume indicator, right, everybody? And then also, by the way, here's the settings that I changed. I don't remember what they were, but there's 10 and 50. And then the colors I completely changed. They were reversed. They weren't showing the right things at the right times. Change the colors. Why are you texting me? All right, so there's that. But yeah, so at a glance, it'll show you unusually high volume into lower prices gets highlighted green, or much higher than average. Price higher moving up gets red. And so Weisswave would have you believe this is a strong up move, but there's actually some weakness in it. Don't. All right. But yeah, this is not anything near climactic. What am I on the 1 hour chart? I don't even use the 1 hour on cryptos, but here we are. Huge buying back there. That was December 23rd. Again, some accumulation there, and then a bit of selling came in, but the result of this high volume selling was still higher prices getting accepted, and that's key to show that we are still bullish. If we were really bearish, they would take advantage of these prices and start selling into it. but a lot is being held. And then this small down move, already seeing some buying that looks like a fib retracement there. Yeah. But my proper swing trading entries require a 4-hour retracement a bit further to the around this area. That's what the moving average is for. But I break that rule sometimes, all things considered. But if you're looking to get in on this, it wouldn't be bad to put something in now, but it's still pretty high, and it may do a fake break pattern or a little, meet up even with the 100 EMA. But I tend to buy lower, so I'm not doing anything with this in this area. I wouldn't do that. But yeah, it's bullish, but some profit was taken, so maybe it can come down and see some reaccumulation, but it may not. It may just keep going. But it's similar stuff here, where you do get some, higher prices and really extreme volume. And you can't blame people for selling some off here, but then look at after that, we settled into new high ground. And then the dip got bought into there. Ideally, that would be green. And here's new high ground, bringing, again, typically some weakness, some profit taking, but then we hang out up here after. We didn't get the double top confirmation or really stopping the price off of weakness. That's kind of the theme here. Yeah, there's going to be weakness into higher prices because that's how it works, especially with cryptos, which I say in the course is one of the main things, is that you can get these trends that hit weakness over and over and over again. And normally, something like that, like you'd be looking to short, and that's it. Well, maybe not with that result, but, that, right? You'd be looking to short. But it's just the way it goes with cryptos. It takes its time with accumulation, and then as new high ground comes in, it takes its time with scaling. It's scaling out. It's swing trading. It's portfolio based. Scaling in and out in percentages. So right now, nothing to do. I'm waiting for things to move down. I can buy more. That's where I am at the moment. Had to sell off a good amount of XLM. I mean, how many times have you seen this happen and come right back down? And of course that, which is a huge rejection there. So a lot of times you see this pattern and you just come back down. The old pump and dump. I mean, OXT, that's life for OXT. That's all it does. All right? So, right, XLM looks like this right now, right? Look what happened. It looks like that. Look what happened. Looks like that. Look what happened. So, the pump and dump is real. This is, on the other hand, very stable. All right. Oh my gosh, are you telling me you couldn't see the whole time? I switched over to it. Paused. It's paused? Paused. How about now? Is that better? Oh, so that's what that button does. I think I need another monitor again. I simplified life, and I think I got too simple. So now you should be seeing the chart moving around. Anyway, I was talking about XLM, the pump and dump. We're all good now? It's likely to dump if you compare this kind of stuff. All right. Well, that was a mess. Still frozen for you. Too much DMT. Why would it be frozen? Why? 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 When I go to OBS in the stream, I see the chart. So I don't quite get that. It's 4:40 in the morning. I don't have the brain power to figure this out right now. Pain in the ass. Why would it be frozen? All right, I'll figure it out for next time. Going back to the Forex. It moved, I think. Yeah, did it? I think that was me adjusting the frame. Okay, let me... I just wanted to check with the Forex charts, and it's your dollar's continuing. If they continue to buy into these down moves, we're going to get to support, and it might be the buy off of that, and it'll run through these areas of strength, typically very quickly, if that's the case. Let me just look around. AU is coming down. Very nice. AJ maybe is coming down as well. Very nice. Okay. Again, it was on Tuesday. We talked about buying these two, the AU, AJ. I bought the AU, Australian, US dollar. Unlike what I said in the beginning, which was AJ, because I forgot. But I checked my I checked my history, and it was 9:12 a.m. New York Time Tuesday, the AU trade. That situation has not changed. So we could get a fake break here. We could get a new support, and you guys can you even see this now? My God. Yeah, there you go. You should be able to see the Australian US chart. Working. Well, MT4 is working. That hasn't been a problem, right? You see MT4 on USD and it's frozen. So everything's like frozen for you guys? So now we're just frozen, huh? Maybe because I closed and reopened? Is that the cause of all of this? That's the common factor between the two now. It's a learning experience this first week. So now I learned, okay, if I set up to share my something and I close it and open it back up, it doesn't recognize it. I have to reset it up to share that window. Got it. Fun. So the streaming software is looking for the old thing and it's not there anymore. So it's just frozen for you guys. Okay, I get it. Let's try a new scene. It's a learning experience. You're learning about trading. I'm learning about streaming. At least I know what I'm doing with that now. I figure, okay, I get that now. I understand what created that problem. So let's see if we fix the problem. So now you should be able to see the real deal crypto charts moving, correct? All right, still learning things in life. Life begins at 44. That's how old I am, yes. It works now. Okay, good. Nice work, Pete. Yeah, figuring out the most simple thing on the planet. Thanks. OBS. Okay. Now I know if I close my in this case browser, that would close my cryptos, and then open it back up and go back. Yeah, then it's not going to give it to you. Okay. Volume is much louder. My volume changed now? Oh my god. That I didn't touch. XRP? Sure. Now that we have working charts, let's do something productive. Meanwhile, euro dollar coming down. It went through the buy area, but we saw buyers, but it didn't set up. Maybe it'll set up lower at support. And AU in particular is coming down. AJ also would be nice. And hit our spots and hit strength and look for the long entries there. Those are the main things I'm looking for in the Forex. Okay. Where is it? Oh yeah. I moved it down here. So I heard all kinds of things. You know, I don't pay attention to fundamentals. But legitimately, I'm 99% sure of this. I sold mine off. I do not own XRP because Coinbase is no longer going to be offering it soon. And from what I heard, wherever this came from, XRP, the way it was sold and distributed or something, there was some illegal business going on. So now there's lawsuits, right? Some of you probably know more about this. You could share. But there's legal issues with XRP, and Coinbase put out a notice it's not going to be offering it anymore, coming soon. So I got out because I use Coinbase. It would probably just force me to sell off, I guess, if I didn't. I don't know. Now, having said all that, I don't know. I listened to the chart. The chart says there was some buying down here. But if Coinbase is not offering it, I'm not getting in. We have a double bottom fake break with some good accumulation here. And historically a pretty low price. So if it wasn't for that situation, I'd say great time to buy. But yeah. Oh yeah, versus the pound. Okay, yeah. Slightly different. But I'm sure it's the same thing, right? You had that huge drop and some buying down there. And that's the story, is that normally in that situation, unless it's something really different versus the pound, probably not. Pete's voice is like Mahler. I don't know who Mahler is, but that doesn't sound good. Let's see. Yeah, same story. Again, if it wasn't for this exchange not offering it anymore, soon, and the legal situation, which seems to be legit, then I would simply have already bought off of this pattern. I had a plan, to buy lower down to 0, which is not far away. If still they're buying, and I would go along with that and be able to scale in on strength. But I would already have bought after such a dip with strength, fake break, double bottom, stabilizing. Because price is historically very low with some large buying. But there is that situation, so I don't know. Playing it safe, I sold it off. Here is where I sold it off, by the way. Somebody emailed me and was like, what do we do about this? I said, I got out on this. This is actually weakness. The indicator is not perfect. It's an up move that got squashed, and it was pretty early. If you look at the smaller time frames, you'll see. I'm like, now's my chance. Just close it up. Forget about it. So, and of course, I was on the U.S., so it's a little different. But it's basically the same story there. Would you say the last low is buying? Yeah, there's certainly buying off of those lows. If you're in a situation where your whatever exchange you're using is not going to discontinue this, number one, obviously, and number two, you're very extremely non-fundamental, and you listen to a chart, and who cares? Lawsuits. Just listen to the chart. It does say there's buying. There's that right now. It's testing that 100 EMA. There's a bit of selling. We'll see what happens there. But like I said, I would have already bought here if it wasn't for that situation. So yeah. All right. Now, if I want to switch back to MT4, I need to add. It's a learning experience. Let's get back to that. So I have to add it back since I closed it, and here it is. Okay. Then I gotta size it. So lesson learned, I really can't close things and then just reopen them and expect you guys to see it. All right. So now you should be seeing a real-time unfrozen MT4. Learning experience. All right, here we are. Euro-dollar at support. There's the buyers. If this sets up properly, everyone can see this now, right? If this sets up properly, first of all, it's a great start. Properly means lack of supply and then going into markup. I like to highlight this when this happens so I can look back and say, I told you so. So, because it very is likely. Now, if this sets up right, when you see a move like this down move, that's bought into once, twice, again. So sometimes you'll see moves that are quite long, but constantly as you get into every time you get into a new low price, the volume tells you there's something going on. And then here there wasn't much, but yeah, there's support where we drew the fib from, that support. And they're showing up everywhere. So we know that they've built up long positions through here. Now, when the supply is finally low, it typically goes very fast. Yay, that's always fun, right? You don't have to wait so long. And they'll pop it up right through that area. And for good reason, logically. But, of course, this is a good start. And we'll see if there's a test. Well, we're going to end soon, but to tell you what to look for today. Of course, the 14 EMA test coming up. A lot of you know my entries. But of course, you basically want to see the imbalance, and the price areas tell you about the buyers. Lower prices, 14 EMA will be our first test for sellers. Here was our test for sellers here, right? And that's how that turned out. So let's see if we can get low volume and actually get through it. And you may get an automatic rally again and a fake break, and then it does it after that, right? And again, that's all good. Let it set up right. If it wants to be nice and take its time and do this whole pattern again, that's perfectly fine. Could be US session by the time the long setup comes. But they are getting in. They are buying. The only thing that's going to change this situation is if we start to go down and that stuff does not happen anymore. And you're seeing lower prices come in on regular volume, low volume, and candles, just easily closing near their low, at their low, into new low ground on medium, low volume. That means the demand, the buying is not coming in. If that's the case, I would not be looking to buy after that. And you could see that sort of thing followed by weakness. And then you would say, okay, we're actually thinking it's going to go down. So if they are truly accumulating, these lower prices need to show this volume. And so far, it's perfect. They're buying into that down move. Meanwhile, this guy, very good. Likely seeing the same thing, right? As far as buying. Yep. It looks like the U.S. pair is a bit cleaner. So at the moment, the euro dollar and the Australian US are probably closest to an entry. All good now. Okay, good. All right, guys. No, we're good. Thanks for helping out. We're learning. I'm learning the stream. You're learning the trade. So cool. I'm going to be doing this until whatever. I'm in the moment. We'll see. Like I said, I don't really do this with GoToMeeting with paid subscribers. For those that may be joining today for the first time, I'll be doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays at London Open. So again, next week. Tuesday, I hope was helpful for those who were here looking for the setups. It was the Australian longs setup, AUAJ. But it's not about trade calls. It's about learning. If there's a setup, there's a setup. No pressure. Anything else before I go? All right, good. It was a success. A little bumpy, but we're off this week. Look forward to more. Cool. You want to hear something really cool? So I won a mixing competition. And they're gonna this YouTube channel. Check this out. You're probably gonna see what I look like if you're curious, because they're gonna interview me. So there's this channel. If you like classic cover songs, by the way, just to tell you guys before I go, if you like classic cover songs, 80s, 70s, really good musicians, amazing, great covers. Some of these songs sound better than the original. check out these guys on YouTube. HSCC, Hindley Street Country Club. They're in Australia. There, I typed it in the chat. If you type in HSCC, you'll see a thumbnail of a band. That's them. Really, really good stuff. I admired these guys. And then I found out there was a mixing competition. You know, they'll send you the tracks for a song, and whoever wins the competition, their song will be used in the video. So I won. It's crazy. So I think that's coming out on January 8th, they said, this weekend. Well, that's tomorrow. I think it's coming out tomorrow. So if you guys like, the song is Hey 19 by Steely Dan, which I never knew what that song was about. But when you're mixing and you hear the vocals over and over again, you realize what the song is about. Hey 19 is pretty freaking hilarious. But anyway, check out, if you like Steely Dan, my mix premiering tomorrow on the HSCC channel. I can't believe it. And I don't mind saying I'm a musical snob, but these guys impressed me. So it's really cool that they have accepted me. Thank you. I'm good enough. And they're going to give me do an interview. I'm just excited and sharing. They're going to interview me, and so I'm like, all right, I have a music channel. I don't really do much, but I've really been wanting to do stuff. That's your city? Wow. I made it. Have you recorded the interview already? No, I have not. So the video's coming out, and then the guy who kind of runs the thing, his name is Darren. He has his own mixing channel, producing mixing, called Producer Nerd. So that's his mixing channel. I assume that's where I'll be interviewed. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm excited about that. It's a weird, I mean, I don't want to say that, but it's a weird place right now. I don't really have to worry about things. I want to do something useful. I want to be useful. I want to do fun things. That's why I'm doing this for free. I want to still accomplish something. I'm not an old man about to retire. I think cryptos are going to be an ATM for a while. That's cool. Not exactly a lot of work. So I'm trying to make myself useful in 2021. But in 2020, I told everybody in March, cryptos, it was at 5,000, 7,000. What was the low? 3,500. I think that was helpful. All right. Darren is a fellow Aussie. Yeah. He reviews Star Wars? You used to party? Oh, yeah, I heard him talk about it. It kind of reminds me of Bleecker Street in New York, from what he was talking about. It's this block where a lot of cities have that, right? That street that all the music clubs are on. So that's their version of it, yeah. Like in New York, it used to be, because New York is now. You ever see 12 Monkeys? All right. Sad. So, yeah. It was like Bleecker Street. That's all shut down now. Yeah, so they call it that, even though they're not actually on Hindley Street, or however you pronounce it. But yeah, they're good, right? For those of you checking them out right now, they're very good. All right, guys. I think we'll end it. Follow your dreams. Reach for the stars. Oh my God. Shut up, asshole. I will say this. I say this all the time. That thing that you want to do that you're not doing, go do it already. It's okay. You're allowed. Go do it. That you just want to do it. It's fun. Do it. All right. That's my advice. Don't listen to me. I'm not some guru guy. All right. So I'll end it here because I'm just blabbering at this point. So this was good. This was cool. Good start. Worked out the kinks this week. I'll see you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays on YouTube on a regular basis. Today we're looking for the good talk. Oh yeah, okay, you're Dr. Phil. I forget if you know Dr. Phil. It's good to have a doctor in the house. So today it'll be the. I'm looking at the euro dollar down here. Make sure it's still showing the strength into the support here, as I explained. If at some point it does not show strength at the lower prices, I would hold off. There's no setup. And then the AU-AJ situation where that is also coming down. So it's good. We're looking to buy low. We'll see where it settles, if it settles properly with strength and lack of supply. All right, guys. We'll follow up, see how this all plays out on Tuesday. I figured it out. All right, guys. Thanks for attending. I appreciate it. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one.